So today we're going to do the 6-ray. So I'm just trying to see here. So 6-ray. So the main God qualities and actions of the 6-ray, and that is the solar plex. So the solar plex is the 6-ray, and it's the purple and gold. Corresponding stones, citrine, pyrite, and golden calcite. The main God qualities and action of the 6-ray is minister of love of Christ, selfless service of God and mankind, devotion to one's fellow man, spiritual worship through devotion, and reverent feelings. So that's what this is all about. The Kohan of the 6-ray is Lord Sananda and Lady Nada, known in their last incarnations as Jesus and Mary Magdalena. Their retreat and temple of resurrection near Jerusalem, a retreat in Saudi Arabia, northeast of the Red Sea, and a place for gathering where various councils of light and Great White Brotherhood often meet. Archangels of the 6-ray with divine complement is Uriel and Aura. Their retreat is in the Tantra Mountains in Poland. No, not Tantra, Tatra, Tatra Mountains in Poland. The Elohim 6-ray and divine complement is Peace and Aloha. Their retreat is in Hawaii Islands. So these are places you want to go to. You don't astral travel into people's homes and look at them and look at things and look around and check on them in the night and that. That's not what astral traveling is about. And there's many sacred temples. There's many different kinds of schools in different dimensions. And you want the universe of light to take you to the right places. And it's really important to do that. So here is Lord Sananda. Later they called him Jesus Christ. And here is Lady Nada. So about Lady Nada and Lord Sananda, formerly embodied in their last incarnations as Jesus and Mary Magdalena, Nada and Sananda both worked together to assist the earth and the evolution of humanity towards ascension through the pathway of unconditional love on the 6-ray of service and ministration of the love of Christ. Ascended Lady Master Nada is Kohan to the 6-ray along with her beloved twin flame Lord Sananda. Together they embody the purple and gold ray of peace, service, ministration, and true brotherhood. She holds the energy and divine love for humanity along with Lord Sananda and works very closely with him. She is also known as the goddess of love. Lady Nada oversees a retreat which is situated in the etheric realms above Lake Titicaca at the border of Bolivia and Peru. Ascended Master Mary, known as Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Pallas Athena, Lady Venus, Lady Portia, Saint Germain's twin flame are all working closely together at this retreat. From this place in Bolivia, they distribute powerful feminine energy to our planet in order to balance the distortions still existing between masculine and feminine energies. There is a strong emphasis at present time on restoring the balance between the female and the male polarities within ourselves, and that's within us. So people go to really extremes. They go way over masculine or they go way over feminine. And somewhere you got to find that balance. Hey, Frankie M. Good morning, everybody that's joining. I have more people on TikTok than I do on Instagram. So that balancing is like everybody has to go inside and find their opposite. So if you're a female, you need to go in and find the masculine part of yourself. And that part is you got to understand it. You got to have that balance, because when it's out of balance, it doesn't work. When you're a male, you have to go in and find the feminine. And you'll find a lot of men now that are really in their feminine, and a lot of people will assume they're gay or they're whatever, and they're really not. When children are born now, a lot of them are really in the opposite. So a little boy will think he's maybe a girl, or a little girl will think she's a boy because she's really in her masculine, and they get a little confused. This is where now people are getting them to have operations and all kinds of stuff. But you wait till a child gets way older, when they're old enough to really understand, then they can make that decision. But when they're just small little kids, it's like they need to understand, because it's chemistry in the body. And people have to have the male and the female balanced. And you'll either go really into your male side and really become aggressive and use it in a way masculinely, or you go way into the feminine and you become very nurturing and loving. And you have to have that balance. And to be a healer and a teacher and that, you have to have the balance of both. People are unbalanced. They're really aggressive in one way or another, and they say they're teachers and they're gurus and they're masters and all kinds of stuff, but they don't have balance. And they don't know how to love themselves. And you have to understand, loving yourself is very important. Something, when I grew up, I was always called gay and all kinds of things, and I always was made fun of. People called me names, but I never gave a shit. I just carried on. And even today, people come around me when I'm doing energy work and that, and they feel that nurturing energy, and I want to help people. And sometimes they assume that, maybe I'm gay or bisexual, and guys think I'm hitting on them, and I'm not. And trying to understand how to balance and work with this energy is really, really important. And sometimes people think they can just steal it or take it. Yeah, if you're really masculine, if you're a grown woman, there's nothing wrong with it. If you're really, really feminine and you're male, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, you figure it out. You got to live in that body. Yes. Wushu says Mahus always had a place in their culture. Every culture was okay with gay and bisexual. They knew it had a purpose. There was never anything wrong or evil. And it was Christianity. They put that in the Bible to make people. And everybody is trying to fight and destroy that, even with children. Children are born that way. And they don't understand that chemistry. And then you make them afraid and believe there's something wrong with it. And this is where my granddad always tried to teach me that I can't judge anything. Okay, Lady Nada and Lord Sananda formerly embodied in last incarnation as Jesus and Mary Magdalena. Nada and Sananda both work together to assist the earth and the evolution of humanity towards the ascension through the pathway of unconditional love on the sixth ray of service and ministration of the love of Christ. Ascended Lady Master Nada is Kohan of sixth ray along with her beloved twin flame, Lord Sananda. Together they embody a purple and gold ray of peace, service, ministration, and true brotherhood. She holds the energy of divine love for humanity along with Lord Sananda and works very closely with him. She is also known as the goddess of love. Lady Nada oversees a retreat which is situated in the etheric realms of Lake Titicaca on the border of Bolivia and Peru. Ascended Master Mary, known as Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Pallas Athena, Lady Venus, and Lady, how did you say that, Cindy?
Portia.
Portia. Portia, Saint Germain's twin flame, are all working closely together in that retreat. From this place in Bolivia, they distribute powerful feminine energies to our planet in order to balance the distortions still existing between the masculine and feminine energies. There is a strong emphasis at present time on restoring the balance between the female and male polarities within ourselves, within our relationships in the world. Many of these feminine masters are working to help us with the task of that is vitally imperative for the ascension of humanity. And that's where my granddad always said, men have to give the power back to the woman and children. Many of these female masters are working to help us with the task so vitally imperative to the ascension of humanity. Unless humanity begins manifesting more balance between the masculine and feminine expressions of power in the world, we will not easily experience the changes in consciousness which must take place. The long-awaited golden age can only manifest when divine balance between the male and female polarities become a reality on the planet. Lady Nada tutors candidates for ascension. Hey, Danny Spoons, you should meditate and ask if Nada is one of your teachers and guides. Same with you, Miranda, if you're on here. Lady Nada tutors candidates for ascension in mastering the God qualities of the solar plex chakra and preparing to receive the gifts of the Holy Spirit. Nada is also a messenger for the Lord and Goddess Miru and the Manus of the fourth root race, whose retreat and temple of illumination is situated at Lake Titicaca, South America. Lady Nada has a certain cosmic authority for the incoming age. Healing is one of her services to mankind, as well as the use of the pink flame. Her symbol is the pink rose. Nada is also a member of the Karmic Board, a group of 8 ascended masters and cosmic beings who dispense justice to the system of worlds, adjudicating karma and mercy on behalf of every soul. Through both these offices in the Great White Brotherhood, Kohan of the Sixth Ray, and members of the Karmic Board, Nada teaches the path of personal Christhood by expressing love through ministration and service to life. She assists ministers, missionaries, healers, teachers, psychologists, and counselors of law. She represents the third ray in her position with the Karmic Board. Lady Master Nada's etheric retreat is located over Saudi Arabia, where she works with her beloved Lord Sananda. Lord Sananda, the initiator of the Christian dispensation. Lord Sananda represents divine love and the higher realms of spirit. He is a symbol of Christianity for the Christian dispensation. He represents the ascension process of humanity rising back to the Godhead. In his primary role, he holds the office of world teacher along with the Master Kathumi. Master Jesus / Sananda has the task of purifying the distorted teachings initiated by the fears of the early fathers of Christian churches, and removing the man-made dogmas and doctrines which have corrupted the purity of his teaching almost from the beginning 2,000 years ago. That's where the Bible and that they altered, they changed it. Like in the Bible, he talked about reincarnation. He talked about everything. But they took all of it out, trying to keep people in fear. Regardless of your religion, you may call upon Lord Sananda to assist you in any area of your life. He is still forever present in the consciousness with all of us personally and collectively. As a hierarchy of the Piscean dispensation of the past 2,000 years, he now works closely with the Master Saint Germain, the hierarchy of the Aquarian age, the coming 2,000 years. And this is where we're in now. We're in that start of the, we're in the 2000 years. I think we're like, I believe 200 years in. People will say that's not a truth, but I believe we're already 200 years into the age of Aquarius, and it takes quite a while before we're actually locked in. So it takes a while, and this is where all these kinds of things fall apart and old things end and new things start. So you're in a phase of the destruction of the old before you implement the new. And I'll keep saying that. I can't prove it, but inside me, if I feel like I somewhere I understand and know this. And like I say, Rudolf Steiner and there were many others were bringing in a lot of knowledge to prepare us for this time. So you can go back further than Steiner and find channeled books and other kinds of things. Whether you believe that Jesus Sananda is the only Son of God, or whether you consider him the ascended master who came to the earth as a world teacher and healer, you may call upon him for his assistance. Indeed, he came to the earth to create a new philosophy that will eventually unite mankind with the source of their divinity. During his life as Joshua ben Joseph, later called Jesus, he did not advocate any new religion, only living from the heart and embracing one's own divinity. That's why I say he was a pagan. He brought in a new way, and his life story was the teaching. He always said in Sanskrit, I am a Messiah, and that meant he was a teacher. And he says it over and over in the Bible. But then the Roman Catholic Church said, no, he says he's God. And they says you can't be like him and all of that, when he says you can be exactly like me. Same with Buddha, all of them. And this is where you have to really understand how to use this correctly and do things and own your own stuff, dig in your own garbage can, look at your own crap. Don't try to look at somebody and make them out to be a bad person. If you got all kinds of garbage in your garbage dump you need to clean up. Unfortunately, the churches have distorted most of his original intentions to teach us the simple ways of embracing one's own Christhood. Lord Sananda intended that God's love and wisdom be taught in a way that would be comprehensive for all to understand and integrate. His teachings were meant for everyone, not just for those who considered themselves more educated and appointed themselves as authorities, desiring to control and deceive humanity with false doctrines, and that's all the Christian churches. Lord Sananda is now more active than ever in teaching humanity the true concepts of the Christ consciousness, which is manifest in its full splendor in Telos, in the city of light. It is time to seriously question the outdated teachings of Christian churches and seek the real truth. And I can't wait till we burn all churches to the ground and destroy them all. Even the Vatican, and you're going to get wiped right out. It is certainly not the greatest soul wisdom to rely uniquely for one's salvation on the old, outmoded versions of spirituality taught by the early Christian churches, which are, to say the least, incomplete. We must now understand and apply in our daily lives the true teachings given to us by former world teachers who came to assist humanity's evolution, their consciousness, evolve their consciousness to the level of their Christhood. Sananda works very closely with the Lemurian Brotherhood of Light of Telos, with Adama, and the spiritual planetary hierarchy of to resurrect the true teachings of Christ consciousness initiated by him 2,000 years ago. And that's why all these old, every culture, even the natives, all kinds like the Sikhs, the Muslims, everything, it's all going to end. But people are trying to go back into that. It's like they're trying to pray to all these old gods and everything. And they want gods to give them power and protect them while they do all kinds of bad things. That's why I say I don't, just because some of my ancestors are Viking, I don't pray to the Viking gods. I don't pray to Odin. I don't pray to all these things, because you got to go to Valhalla, which is all about war and killing, death, drunkenness, drugs, and all kinds of crap. That's not heaven, that's insanity. But that's what the Vikings pray to, and a lot of people now pray to that. I don't, just because I have ancestors that are connected to that. And this is where, like, we're going to end all those things. All the people who pray to gods for power, if you pray to Durga, if you pray to Kali, Shiva, and all kinds of things, all of those things are going to end, because we're going to erase all things that are not of light, that don't work with the universe and the future and truth. And everything is about evolution. Embodiment of Lord Sananda. Sananda told me that he had many incarnations on the continent of Lemuria, but he was not specific. This great master had numerous embodiments on this planet before his last incarnation, as Joshua ben Joseph listed below. He was King David of the Old Testament. In that life, he worked closely with the prophet Samuel, who is one of the incarnations of our beloved, who is one of the incarnations of our beloved Saint Germain. So Saint Germain was Samuel. He was Joseph of Egypt, son of Jacob in the Old Testament. Has some of the most interesting parallels to the life of Jesus. In Judaism, the Messiah was thought of, in Judaism, the Messiah was thought of as the son of Joseph as well as the son of David. Next one, he was Yeshua, the one who led the Israelites into the promised land in the Old Testament. And in the last incarnation, he embodied as Jesus. His real name was Joshua ben Joseph, or Yeshua, Yeshua, capital Ben, and then Joseph, Yeshua ben Joseph. This great master came to teach us that we have the power to create, heal, and become the Christ, as he demonstrated. He said, "These and greater things than these shall you do." And this is where we can all become Jesus, or more than Jesus. That's his exact words, and it's written in the Bible. And he was saying this in John 14:12. He demonstrated the power of God through his healings, his crucifixion, and his resurrection. In that life, he was overshadowed by Lord Maitreya, the planetary Christ, whom he called his father. And indeed, Maitreya was his spiritual father, the great sponsor of his noble mission. And it's Maitreya. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it doesn't matter to me if I'm saying it right or not. Yeah, true. Threshold, Okanagan, digging your own garbage dump. Stop looking at everybody around as dark and negative. If they are, you're going to see it. You don't have to search for it. Like I say, it's in their energy fields and everything. You can't hide it. Again, here is, okay, I read that. So the embodiment of Lady Nada. On Atlantis, Nada served as the priestess of the Temple of Love. The sisterhood of the temple directed healing through love by the use of the light rays for those who required and could receive them anywhere on earth. That temple was patterned after a rose, each petal being a room. It still remains in the ether, even to this day. Next one. Lady Nada was a high priest in the temple of Isis, received her training in full mastery over several prior embodiments from that highly evolved master school. These mystery schools no longer exist today. They will likely be restored in the new energy after the ascension of the earth into the fifth dimension. And this is where they tried, in the Bible, the church, the Roman Catholic Church, tried to make her out to be a harlot and everything, but no. She was from a wealthy family, and she worked in this temple, and she was a high priest. That's when she met Jesus. She understood everything, and they shared knowledge together. And they knew of the spirit world. They knew of higher things. And that's why he married her, and he had children with her. He wasn't celibate. He didn't walk around and walk around in a dress, but he was married to a woman. But the churches tried to make everybody believe that wasn't so, and they didn't want you to know that they got married and everything else. As Mary Magdalena, she incarnated with her beloved twin flame Jesus in his mission as the embodiment of Christ. She came to be his beloved champion of fully support his mission. Sananda told me that the account in the Bible of the wedding at Canaan is a true story of his official marriage to Mary Magdalena. People don't want to believe that. But it's true. He was married. He wasn't celibate. And you got to get that crap out of your head. And if preachers are telling you that, don't listen to them. All these crazy Christians and all this other stuff. It is extremely important for this truth to be revealed now that Mary Magdalena was a high initiate and a priestess of the sacred fires during her lifetime with Jesus. She had a very high degree of evolutionary attainment along with her mother Mary. She was with him to hold the energies of the divine feminine on his behalf during his ministry in the land of Galilee and at his crucifixion. She was certainly not the sinner and prostitute as depicted by scholars of the early churches. This denial of the divine feminine is one of the greatest lies that has been unjustly imposed and imprinted on humanity's consciousness for the last 2,000 years. She was unfairly discriminated against by the early fathers of the church in their attempt to subdue once more the energies of the divine feminine for the generations to come. They sought to maintain control over what they feared the most, the energies of the Divine Mother that Mary Magdalena represented at the time, along with Mother Mary and Mother Jesus, the mother of Jesus. Both were very high initiates of the Temple of Isis and had the required attainment to hold that energy while Jesus was performing his sacred mission. It is time for humanity to open their hearts to the loving energies of Mary Magdalena, seeing her for who she really is and forgetting the lies maliciously invented against her. And this is where men and women have to be in balance. Women can't suck energy out of men. Men can't suck energy out of women. Women and men have to be balanced in their own male-female, and they have to be giving with love. They can't drain and suck or block or interfere or do anything. Like if you do that to your partner, you're not honoring that. And this is where God tries to pair people up for reasons. So, retreat for the masters of the sixth ray in the Far East, shining in the pulsating ethers over the Holy Land, stands the Temple of Resurrection, whose immortal flame of restoration and restitution is guarded and protected by the beautiful Master, Lord Sananda and Lady Nada and Mother Mary. This temple is created of substance which resembles mothers of pearl. It is circular in design. The courts, like great cylinder corridors, circle around the central flame room, where the heart of the sacred fire of the resurrection is focused. It is composed of 7 circular corridors around the center altar, where the unfed flame of resurrection burns perpetually, radiating its buoyant, uplifting, and life-giving restituting powers. Beautiful beings from the Brotherhood and the flame of resurrection amplify its power in each one of the corridors. Visitors to the Resurrection Temple enter the corridor where the radiation of the flame has an affinity to their own and their potential expression of divinity. Here the visitors are charged with renewed hope of spiritual vitality that are made consciously aware of the truth of life everlasting and the miraculous potential that the resurrection flame can generate within those who invoke it. The purpose of this focus is to continue to pour into all levels of human conscious, emotional, mental, physical, and etheric, and all evolutions that belong to this planet, the reality of the power of the resurrection flame. And this is where Jesus chanted and prayed until he was able to go into this energy. Mankind, for the most part, has accepted the resurrection of Jesus as a miracle, only possible for him, and to have not availed themselves the use of this miraculous flame to restore their own bodies to perfection. Rather, they have submitted to disease, disintegration, decay, and finally so-called death as natural processes of life. However, to keep alive the feelings of the power of resurrection in the consciousness and the unascended mankind, beloved Jesus Sananda, Nada, Mother Mary continuously send forth into the atmosphere of earth the victorious radiations from this temple. The flame of resurrection is the hope of redemption for the entire human race, quickening the vibratory actions of the light within the cells of the body, enabling the inner light to throw off the appearance of illumination. The substance of the resurrection flame flows through the inner bodies of those who invite it, as well as through the physical body. Messages of love from Lord Sananda together with Lady Nada. So I'm going to read for a little bit here, and then at 11 I'll take a break. Cindy can come in. Here is a picture of the chakra flower. That is a solar plex. So I'll read this bit here, and then when I stop, Cindy can come in and share what she's going to share with you guys. And I'll take a little break. I'll refresh my tea. I'll use the washroom stuff. And I'll see if I got to put more wood or whatever into the stove. Cindy is saying there all pictures are linked in our classroom. We have a school where you can go. Greeting. So, message of love from Lord Sananda together with Lady Nada. Greetings, my beloved. I am Lord Sananda. I came accompanied by my beloved Nada. It is indeed a great joy and honor for us to give this opportunity to greet all of you who are reading this life-changing material and connect with you in a very personal way. We desire to speak to your hearts and souls of our favorite subject, the topic of self-love and the powers of the resurrection flame, whose guardianship we have been entrusted with as our service to life. Some of you read many books with the hope of finding the magical key that will create within your soul the openings to assist you to return back home to the dimensions of love and light that you once knew. So many of you are yearning to meet and work with us again face to face and live the real life beyond the human shackles and the illusion of separation. Now, my beloved, all that you ever wanted and dreamed of is waiting your allowance and recognition to be born and to be bestowed upon you. All the wondrous gifts, the limitlessness, the divine faculties that are of the I Am presence are simply bursting with the desire to be activated and restored within you. In truth, there is nothing outside yourself you can acquire that can permanently satisfy your deepest longings, at least not for long. And this is where even Taoism and that, they want longevity, and they're trying all kinds of things. It's like you can't fart and all kinds of things because you lose part of your energy, all kinds of crazy things. I drink all kinds of herbal teas, Sky 77. There's all kinds of medicine teas, and I drink lots of different kinds. You should see I got about 50 different kinds of tea. But, dear ones, you have to ask and allow yourself to receive. Allow some time every day to contemplate the focus on the object of your desire. You know this. But very few of you take time to apply what you learn in this book you read. You are creatures, read that again. You are creators, and you have to create what you want with the love of your heart, your intentions, and focus. It simply does not happen on its own. And this is where in New Age teachings, everybody believes it just happens if you just believe it. It doesn't work that way. Hey, Patnia. Hey, Joe Harusk. So you have to, like I say, work with this knowledge. You all know this, but very few of you take the time to apply what you learn in this book you read. And it's not science. Like I say, it's energy. It's very, very ancient. It's very, very intelligent. And it knows what it's doing. You can't lie and you can't deceive it. It doesn't work that way. You are creators, and you have to create what you want with the love of your heart, your intentions, and focus. It simply does not happen on its own. Without your focus, without your asking, without setting your intentions, and without activating the feeling of gratitude for the receivership of the fruits of your creation. That's why I say you got to believe it, you got to choose it, you got to want to do it. And this is something I have told people for years. It's like your choice, your belief. And you can't try to believe bull crap and that and then try to do this and think it's going to work for you. Now, with the limited space allotted us in this book, we will do our best to give you the maximum. And oh, there is so much more we would like to share with you. Thus, we encourage you to come to our retreat at night, the Temple of Resurrection near Jerusalem, to commune with us personally, to feel our hearts, and to get what is not in the book directly from us. It is our service and great pleasure to teach you your next step and the next one, to assist you in attaining your mastery. This is an invitation, beloved. So you got to choose this. That's what I'm always saying. Choose to want to do this. It is so important that you begin focusing on knowing and loving yourself. How can you expect to create divine union with your I am through the ascension if you are not dedicated to truly knowing that part of yourself? You want to merge with it. Beginning to know yourself is to love it. It cannot be otherwise. It is exactly what will free you from all your burdens, sorrows, and limitation. Knowing and loving your innermost being will bring you everything you ever longed for and desired. Therefore, the statement, know thyself, is the most wondrous and profound statement that exists in your language. And how many times does Jesus say this in the Bible? Like, he says it many, many, many times, and yet people still can't understand that. Then it says, we wish to give you some explanations about the inner works of the I Am presence so that you can gain a greater understandings in assessing it. On the third dimension, you have had many adventures and experiences in separation. You have collected doubts, fears, confusions, misunderstandings. You do not always know what choices to make when you make them. You do not always know your purpose, your destiny, and your next step. There is always a place in your consciousness where you entertain self-doubt and non-knowingness about many things in your life. I'm just going to put on my slippers here. Okay. Potnia, maybe the trees wanted to die. Stop crying. Plants have a choice too, and they make things happen. It's humans try to save things. Go and talk to the trees and see if that's what they wanted. People try to be empaths, and all they do is cause themselves harm. I talk about this lots of times. Animals want to die. All kinds of plants want to die, and they choose it, and they will make it happen. So You can't interfere with anything. You got to realize everything is in balance and everything is choosing and intelligent. You do not always know your purpose, your destiny, and your next step. There is always a place in your consciousness where you entertain self doubt and non knowingness about many things in your life. You often find yourself in the physical body on an outrageous plane of existence without a plan, without direction and instruction. For most of you, you do not even have a plan A, never mind a plan B. Being in the now is certainly a good plan, especially if you do not have full awareness. You have been noticing lately that you are more and more in the now moment with whatever you are doing. I got to do my puzzle here. On TikTok, they put this little puzzle on. If you're on for an hour, if you don't do it, they'll disconnect you. So I have to do this little thing, slide it around. You have been noticing lately that you are more and more in the now moment with whatever you are doing. When you live in the now moment, you enter into a consciousness of God. I am within you. It is that part of you which holds the agenda for your divine plan for all eternity, also for this lifetime. When you make plans for your mind or the ego, you find that it does not always work out, and you are not always able to follow through. We are going to reveal some of what has been mysterious within you, that you may embrace the great mystery. That's why I call the Creator the great mystery. Because there's many, 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 many mysteries, and there's many teachers and all kinds of other stuff. Yeah, you're getting too empathic for nature. You're out of balance, Patnia. You got to get some balance in there. People do that. They go way too far. It'll drive you insane. I had to help a guy like that years ago. He just about went totally insane. And I had to bring him back and ground him and disconnect him from. He was trying to die for the trees and everything. He's running around naked. He went totally nuts. And you got to try not to go so far into nature, because Mother Earth is going to save nature, not you, Patnia, not the birds, not anything. They all know Mother Earth, and they know what she's doing, and they all have choices. You have to just be thankful for everything in life. We are going to reveal some of what is the mysteries within you, that you may embrace the great mystery that you are. First, we will tell you that the I Am Presence is a resonance and a vibration inside you. From within the heart and soul, you will feel it very powerfully in the vicinity of the heart and the throat area. And I think it's the thymus gland. It's up in here. Because the thymus gland is like a little power generator. And it has to do with T cells and all kinds of stuff. You will feel it very powerfully in the vicinity, your heart and throat area. You will also feel it revolving all of the chakras at the same time when it's activated and opened. What activates the I Am Presence is the choice you make. When you use your power and your desire to make a choice clear and simple, the I Am is involved. And a lot of people are sealed here by darkness, by all kinds of things. And this is one of the places that really needs to get fixed, because your heart chakra is here, throat chakra is here, and me, I always get real lots of stuff going on here. This is where I get attacked. And people do it all the time. I know a lot of people that were around me and they did all kinds of stupid things. Because sometimes in the spirit world I see people putting necklaces and stupid things on me energetically, and I try to remove that, but then they just keep doing dumb things trying to block my energy so everybody can see me as the darkest, nastiest thing. But you can't shut off my light, you can't shut off my aura, you can't shut off God's energy and truth. And that's the one thing the darkness can't do. What activates the I am presence is a choice you make, and when you use your power and your desire to make a choice, clear and simple, the I am is involved. When there is no doubt, fears, or hesitation about the choice, no issues arise to obstruct the choices being brought forth, and you have a completely clear energy. When you choose in total clarity and there is no separation presence, the I am is activated, completely free to express. The truth is that there is only a few issues you have to work out in order to realize your mastery. Isn't this interesting? What if we tell you that you can count those issues on one hand? Most of you already know and believe you are going to bring forth mastery and ascension in this lifetime. You do not yet know how. You do not know yet all the steps, and you will not be informed, because the steps to mastery are miracles that are revealed in precise moments and are meant to accelerate your progress. These all will always be moments of wondrous surprise and expansion. They are meant to be secrets until the moment of that revelation. Who you are is not only a God portraying beingness, but you are as a creator. And this is where I pray on Sunday for your higher heart. You hear me talk about the higher heart before I go to the heart chakra, and on the heart area I do the higher heart. And I talk about this sacred place. Nothing can take your light. You just shut it down through your own fears. You got to learn how to expand it even more and more by bringing in the light. You focus more on the darkness. That's where every day I just keep bringing in the light, using the Earth Mother and the universe to generate more light, because more and more people want to pull. And sometimes they shut me down, they exhaust me, but then I just go back into doing what I'm doing. Like I say, people can try and do all kinds of stuff. That ain't going to stop me. And I'm not going to run around and be afraid. All my life, people have hated me and treated me bad. And that's going to end. The beginningness, so it says here, the beginningness and the censorship go in hand. Be bold and start bringing forth all the dreams. It is time to make them come true. Now let us talk about the power of resurrection, which means to bring back or restore to normal conditions. This understanding brings the knowledge out of the miraculous into the working law, with which those using it can be restored wholeness. So no matter what's going on, everything can be fixed. You can have spontaneous healings. You can have all kinds of things happen. Witnessing the action of the resurrection flame through the body of those who have been resurrected from the dead, and for those with external physical conditions, we see death give way to life, the normal conditions for every soul. And this is where all kinds of magic can happen. But you can't have it until you do everything right. And that's why you won't know it until you're in it. And everybody's, but I want to know it. I want to know the fifth dimension. I want to know this and that. You're not going to know it until you're in it. So you need to practice all these things, and then somewhere you're going to have these experiences. But until you actually choose it and do it, nothing is going to happen. If a dormant bulb lying on the ground through the long winter beneath the snow and ice can be stirred to life by the resurrection flame each spring, and direct its shoots and flowers through the soil, giving forth beauty and fragrance, it should be a great hope and example to all of you. If a simple bulb can externalize its immaculate concept through the resurrection flame, so can you externalize your mastery. In fact, you can do this in a much greater way. If only you would spend time invoking it daily in your life, for your projects, for your gardens, and for everything you want to create and resurrect. The principle is the same for the bulb as it is for each of you in your life. Each year around Easter, the flame of resurrection is amplified in greater measures for about 40 days to create the miracle of spring for nature. And we're coming into that. So you can start calling this energy in. For humans and for all life on the planet, the resurrection flame is also available the rest of the year to anyone to use and invoke. It is limitless and free for the asking. What better deal can you find on the internet? Did you ever contemplate what makes all of nature suddenly wake up for a new round of beingness in the spring? Of course, it is this wondrous golden flame. Take now a moment to allow yourself to feel the resurrection flame bursting within you. Invoke it fully until you can feel it. The simple affirmation, I am the resurrection and the life, was given to me by one of my mentors and the great divine director in my last incarnation prior to starting my public life in the land of Galilee. This was such a key for me, and I was so grateful for the gift of this affirmation. And this is where it's a mantra. I am the resurrection and the life. And you meditate and you focus on that. With this simple sentence, I built a momentum of the flame of resurrection in my inner body to such an extent that this very momentum allowed me to resurrect my body after the crucifixion. And this is where people say, oh, he wasn't crucified. Yes, he was. He had to die and then come back to show everybody that there is life after death. That's what it was all about. And he walked around for 2 weeks showing everybody. He showed the holes in his hands, the scars in his skull, the spear where it went in his side and everything. And then he left after 2 weeks. Right there in the Bible. Tells you the truth. I've talked about this lots for years to people. Take now a moment to allow yourself to feel the resurrection. Oh, I read that one, okay. Say it now loud and silently in your heart 3 times. Now feel the current of hope alive within you. For within your heart you know that there is a seed of divine plan and destiny waiting to burst forth and externalize itself, to make each of you, step by step, a Christed being. The seed in you is by far so much more powerful than the tiny kernel held within the patterns of the crocus of every violet. I am Sananda, together with Nada, we bless you and send you the eternal flame of cosmic love. Accept from us the gift of the resurrection flame and use it to discover its wonderful, miraculous producing power. I'm going to start with a prayer of the 6-ray healing. Invocation to the flame of resurrection. It says, I am the resurrection and the life of my eternal freedom in light. So that's the first one. I am the resurrection and the life of my physical body's perfect blueprint. I am the resurrection and the life of my emotional body's perfect blueprint. I am the resurrection and the life of my mental body's perfect blueprint. I am the resurrection and life of my etheric body's perfect blueprint. I am the resurrection and life of my spiritual body's perfect blueprint. I am the resurrection and the life of the Ascended Master's purity and love. I am the resurrection and the life of the healing powers of the sacred flame. I am the resurrection and the life of my immortal perfection and illumined love of the cosmic Christ. I am the resurrection and the life of the powers of the sacred fire within me, restoring all the wondrous gifts of my divine essence. So that's the 6-ray prayer. So you're resurrecting everything. And you're being very specific when you're saying this prayer. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. And you're trying to resurrect. You're not trying. you're working on resurrecting all these 10 things. So I don't know if I'll go back to it after, but I'll read anyways. The discourse from Adama, Jesus, Sananda, and Lady Nada. Group, what is Adam planning for us tonight? Ariella. I had a talk with Adam this afternoon as I did not have any idea what we were going to talk about this evening. Adam would like to talk about the resurrection flame and its healing attributes. This wonderful flame is not well known to the majority of the people in this dimension. Even to those who have heard about it, they often do not know how to use it. The resurrection flame is one of the 7 major flames of God that have been available to people on this planet since the beginning of time. It has an action of its own, but also carries another aspect of healing. The whole world is in desperate need of many kinds of levels of healing at this time. The word healing has a broad meaning, including many aspects and many levels. Before we can be whole and express the fullness of light, the I am again, we have to heal all aspects of ourselves on a deep level until completion. People hear about healing in so many different ways on the 3rd dimension, but true healing is little understood. In fact, in order to understand true healing, it would be wise to learn about the attributes of the 7 major flames of God constantly flooding the planet to nurture and sustain life. The understanding that Adam would like to convey this evening is about healing on a higher level. True healing, not just a temporary solution, which you have to resolve permanently at a later time. The flame of resurrection is another extraordinary tool among others, which is free, easy to use, and very effective. Unfortunately, it is not used by the majority of people because the knowledge is forgotten. The emerald green vibration of the 5th ray of healing and the energies of the Jade Temple is one tool, but there are many others, awesome ones. The more aware we become of these tools, the more we use them, the more we can transform our lives with ease and grace. Adam wants to give us a greater understanding of the resurrection flame, discussing electrons and how we can raise our consciousness by using those tools. There are 7 days of the week, 7 notes on the musical scale, 7 main chakras, 7 main endocrine glands, 7 main organ systems in the body. The list is quite long. Do you get the picture? Each one of these rays represents a specific color vibration and is connected with one of the names I mentioned. For example, each day of the week is amplified with the energies of one of the rays with its corresponding color vibration. Each note in the musical octave represents a specific color and ray energy. Each one of the 7 glands and the 7 main organs in your body is connected with one of the same 7 main chakras, which in turn is connected to one of the 7 flames. The flame of resurrection is something you can use through eternity and always benefit from it. Now I bring in Adam. Adam, greeting my dearest friends and to your friends and mentors. It is a pleasure for me and my team to be with you once again today to present pearls of wisdom and knowledge to those who want to expand their awareness and understanding of God's wondrous attributes. I am here with the guardians of the flame of resurrection, Lord Jesus, Sananda, and Lady Nada, known to the world as Mary Magdalena in her last incarnation. They have come to beam the radiance of their love to all of you and share with you the truth which has been kept from you for so long. What you have been taught, the real truth about God and your divinity in your short incarnation on the planet so far, is limited compared to what there is to know. There is much knowledge at our disposal today to embrace understand and embrace and understood for the unfoldment of your consciousness. Most of you have experienced thousands of incarnations on this planet, and in your current incarnation you have been presented with only a few pearls of true knowledge. This is now changing. Tonight we will share another one of these spiritual treasures to assist your healing. The flame of resurrection is not only uniquely a healing flame, its sphere of action is vast, and in our short time together we can only cover a general understanding. It was the flame of resurrection the Master Jesus used to resurrect his own body in the tomb after the crucifixion, 2,000 years ago. This alone should give you a clue when you contemplate this greater meaning. What does resurrection really mean? What it did for this great avatar can also work for you. The attributes of this flame have not diminished. On contrary, it has gathered more momentum since the last time. Although this flame is always active, Easter time is when its energy doubles in intensity for the benefits of mankind. The flame of resurrection, as a six-ray activity, also embodies the energies of the selfless service and ministration. That is what Jesus embodied and demonstrated by his life and his selfless service to humanity. He remained in his holy calling for the whole dispensation of the Aquarian age. So like I say, we're moving into all this new now. We're ending the Piscean, stopping the old. His experience of the flame of resurrection was not unique. He simply knew how to use its life-giving energies. Now that you have evolved your consciousness to a greater level of understanding, it is important for you to start using this flame for your own transformation. There are many tools at your disposal to ease your life, to accelerate your evolutionary path. You simply need to be aware of them and diligently start using them every day. When you desire healing in your body, use the energy of resurrection flame to accomplish this by taking your body to a much higher frequency than you already carry. Superficial temporary healing is not what you really want. You need something that is uplifting and permanent. You want your healing to reflect your divine perfection. When the Master Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life," he was not talking about his human self in incarnation. He was teaching the divine law of his mighty I am that lives in his sacred heart, not yet fully expressed in your present state of awareness. Understand the resurrection flame is an energy you can easily use for your benefit by focusing on it, by invoking it, and by playing with it. Be creative. Group. It sounds awesome to me. Until Ariella mentioned it, I had never heard of it. How can we make it work in our lives? Adam. It is one of the many attributes of God. You can resurrect your finances, you can resurrect your body, you can resurrect your family harmony, you can resurrect a great number of things you want to expand in your life. You can use the word I am, knowing that is the ultimate aspect of you, or you can say something like, "From the Lord God of my being, I call forth now to receive the great infusion of the resurrection flame in every cell, atom, and electron in my physical body, my emotional body, my mental body, my etheric body, my body elemental, and all my subtle bodies." And this is where your body elemental has been absorbing all the toxins and negative things to keep you alive and healthy. So you got to ask your body elemental also receive this resurrection energy. And all your subtle bodies, because you got other body energies that all need this energy. I wish to heal and resurrect all aspects of my life. Name other things you personally want to resurrect, such as finances, talents, memories, harmony, etc. The sky is not even the limit on how you can use this energy. If you experience lack of any kind in your life, if your body is not in a state of luminosity and immortality, if you are not yet manifesting absolute divine beauty, youth, and perfection, it means that the electrons composing your physical structure are still suffering levels of distortion. Call the resurrection flame to come to your rescue. And this is where all our atoms, electrons, everything has to be healed and transformed. Group, how often do we need to do this? Adam, in your dimensions where energy moves so slowly, unlike in ours where creation is instant, you need to focus on what you want to create several times a day until you obtain the desired result. You also need to add feelings of love and gratitude to the focus of your creation. If you focus only once, your chance of manifesting what you want is rather slim. It is not a question of repeating affirmations like a parrot, but sending your love thoughts throughout the day as you go about your business with the absolute knowingness that your creation is manifesting through your love and intention. This is how the law of manifestation works. If you choose to do the affirmation, which are very helpful, be sure that you repeat them, not as a supplication, but as a statement of loving intention, with the full intensity of emotions from your heart, infusing the object of your desire with as much faith and gratitude as possible. It is always helpful to visualize the resurrection flame as a golden orange yellow energy, luminescent in color like a summer sunset. Make it real, give it life in your heart and mind, because as you visualize it, it becomes. If you want healing, infuse a problem you want to heal with the energy and be sure to sustain it long enough to obtain the results you desire. And that's where spontaneous healings, all kinds of different things go on when you know how to do this and focus and make these things happen. Yeah, my throat chakra. People always do things to people's throat chakras. People don't want to hear what you have to say. If you're a healer, there's people out there that don't want to hear. They show up and then they just send negative energies. They do things. People always do silly stuff. Give it life in your heart and mind because as you visualize it, so it becomes. If you want to heal, infuse a problem with what you want to heal with that energy. Be sure to sustain it long enough to obtain the result as you desire. The energy of the flames are also connected to each one of your chakras. As you evolve your consciousness, you will discover many more chakras will be activated. You will become acquainted with the many more than just the seven flames. All the flames work individually and together in synchronistic ways, like the rainbow of light to assist and sustain you. Think of energies such as the flame of joy, the flame of harmony, the flame of comfort and peace, etc. Their wonders are simply endless, and this is where I'm like the joy can be inside you, the flame of joy. The flame of harmony can be inside you. The flame of comfort and peace can be inside you. You can't buy it. You can't have somebody come along and pet you and then all of a sudden you have that. It doesn't work that way. You can't sit there and go, ooh, cuckoo, 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 and all this other silly crap. It doesn't build that true energy inside because now you wait for a person to show up and do that all the time or to show up with a flower or show up with this and that. That doesn't do that. That energy should be inside you. Nobody should ever have to do something like that. It should be inside you all the time. That's what children have when they're born. They just have all of this until you disconnect them, until you give them really lots of crazy beliefs. You make them afraid. You make them do all kinds of things, and then they shut it all off. And they start becoming these terrible beings, and then they're always scared and afraid, and then they're not happy anymore. And people disconnect at a very early age. The energies of the flame are also connected to each of your chakras. You discover the many chakras. And there's so many things, like once you start really practicing, like I say, you will know it's really happening. Everybody will. Hey, Fran Harrison 7. Next, I would like to share some understandings of electrons. This is where on my Sunday prayer I talk about the electrons, the protons, the atoms, the mana, the prana, all kinds of different things in my prayer. And in that prayer, you're inviting all these things in to wake up and help you. The smallest manifestation of life can be measured in terms which men would understand as electrons. These electrons represent particles of energy from the body of Prime Creator, which is eternally self-sustained, indestructible, self-luminous, and intelligent. I told you, electrons are intelligent. They have lots to teach when you really, really connect with them. You can't command and order them around. Electrons are pure universal light substance responding like lightning to the creative power of both God and man. In varying forms, they make up the atoms of the physical world. Interstellar space is filled with this pure light essence. The number of electrons which combine with each other in a specific atom is a result of the determined by the consciousness thought. The rate at which they whirl around the central core is the result of the determined by feelings. The intensity of the whirling motion within the central core is the breath of God. Therefore, the most concentrated activity of divine love and energy that grows your food, the substance you find in the third dimension, is all created by various manifestations of electrons that have been qualified differently. Everything is made of the same stuff called electrons. All electrons come from the prime source energy of love. Electrons are created as energy particles from etheric planes of consciousness. Their energy is neutral and totally at the service of life. They manifest in a form only when they become qualified by other conscious parts of life. Electrons take various forms, shapes, and densities according to how they are qualified. In your world, when you qualify energies with less than pure love, when you create with fear, anger, and greed, you are misusing electrons and creating distortions in their original purpose to serve life. These miscreations then become yours to own as karma. You have to live with the programming you have qualified the electrons with. When you balance all your debts to life with love, you purify all electrons you have misused. This is what you call the working out of karma. Next, take note, my dear brothers and sisters, of what I am going to say next. This is the most important for you to remember always. God gives you a daily basis an unlimited number of electrons with which to create your life. You are always free to create in any way you wish according to what you create with your thoughts, intentions, and emotions. Your life reflects how you use the electrons available to you. In general, humanity does not understand the right use of electrons. In other words, the right use of energy at their disposal. This knowledge is forgotten. By misusing energy as you do on the surface of the earth, you create much pain and difficulty for yourself, for your planet, and for everyone evolving here. Group, do we misqualify the use of that energy through self-doubt, judgment, fear, negative emotions, and actions that are not expressed in love? Adam, yes. Electrons want to respond to love. When you misqualify them by vibrations other than love and joy, they become distorted, and that distortion becomes your cosmic responsibility. How do you think the electrons used for nuclear energy and other types of destruction feel? Remember, they carry prime creator consciousness and intelligence because they are commissioned to serve life unconditionally. They have to serve mankind in whatever way mankind chooses to use them. These electrons, more often than not, remain embedded in the negativity of mankind, sometimes for eons. It is not what they want or what were created for. They have to painfully submit to the misuse. And anybody that wants power and distorts things, take electrons, like sorcerers and black magic, people who use gods and demons, and they're all protected and they send really bad energies at people. They destroy people's lives and happiness. They take electrons and they use them wrong, but somewhere in karma it comes back to them and they pay for it. Exactly, it is constant everywhere in the universe. Electrons represent the energy you use to create your daily life. If you misuse electrons or energy, it creates fields of darkness around and inside you. If you misuse these and create fear within yourself or project this kind of energy to others in doubts and judgment, the electrons of your body become distorted and eventually create disease, illness, lack of vitality, and aging, etc. Group, how does using the resurrection flame correspond to our needs as we are moving into the mystery, gaining the wisdom and understandings from our experience? Adam, first of all, you need to understand that the resurrection flame is not only a flame nurturing life, you cannot freely misuse God's energy without consequence. When you qualify God's energy with love, the electrons start flowing in a different manner, creating harmony, because that is their nature. Your nature is divine, and so is theirs. You have to work with the emotions and become aware of your thoughts and patterns and your actions. You can invoke the flame of a resurrection to assist you in restoring harmony in your life and healing all your issues. When you begin to requalify energy or electrons within the flame of God, the electrons will begin to spin clockwise instead of counterclockwise. And it's like your chakras. Sometimes you'll see somebody's chakra will spin backwards. This inner work needs to be embraced as a way of life, progress in action, not something you do only once in a while. This is your most important assignment and the key to the spiritual freedom you long for. The gift of this flame is impersonal, not limited to one being 2,000 years ago, but to all children of the Creator at any time, anywhere. Some people use it for finances. I am the resurrection and the life of my finances. Others use it for healing. I am the resurrection and life of my perfect health. When you start using it, many things will be shown to you, your awareness and your spiritual growth. Before you can receive what you want, you may need to weed the garden of your consciousness. As you focus on the object of your desire, what needs to be realigned will be shown to you, and as you change your consciousness, your life will change for the better. You know, old age and degeneration have never been natural attributes of life. The appearance of your physical body is determined by the amount of light carried within your lower vehicle, the emotional, mental, etheric, and physical body. The natural emanation of light through these body systems forms a protection wall referring to as the tube of light around you. And that's your auric field, and you're in this energy bubble. When the electrons move slowly in their particular organs and cells, they draw less light from the higher self, creating resistance and weaker light streams. How much vitality you are going to have in your body and how you are going to start feeling has to do with how fast the electrons can spin in your body. The more toxins you have and the less light you hold, the slower the electrons spin, encouraging old age, disease, misalignment, malfunctions of the organs, glands, and system. In time, your whole body begins to experience aging. In Telos, we have attained immortality because we have learned to keep ourselves and everything that we do in our physical lives, in our mental attitudes, and our emotional bodies totally clear of negativity. We clear ourselves regularly with many tools we are teaching you. Our electrons are spinning at a speed that keeps our body always young and beautiful. Immortality is not such a mystery once you begin to understand it, but an unfoldment of real life that is divine and natural. Group, do masters ever make mistakes? Adam. You have to realize that when you talk about masters and mastery, there are various levels. There are masters of fourth dimension, there are masters of fifth dimension, there are masters of all dimensions. In each dimension, one is learning greater and greater levels of mastery. For example, if you talk about masters in the fourth dimension, yes, they can make mistakes, but it is also their learning process. As for you, you are learning mostly by your mistakes. The mistakes they make are not very serious because they have greater wisdom and they work under the guidance of masters of higher dimensions. At the higher levels, we do things in groups of unity so that we always get the benefits of the wisdom of the whole and from those who have greater spiritual attainment. Whatever happens in your life, let's say you lost your house in a fire, or were in an accident and lost a leg, or have become blind, or lost large sums of money, or suffered broken relationships, no matter what it is, whether the challenge is small or big, instead of being angry, depressed, or bitter, what if you were to say, what it is that I can learn and heal from this experience? And that's what everything is about. What can you learn from it all? Surrendering to the lesson you are supposed to learn from the challenge is the key to walking through them quickly. Your life changes and you do not have to grapple with the same lesson. You can move on to those that bring you much more joy. Lessons do not always have to be difficult to learn. They become difficult for those who choose to totally ignore them. And that's what everybody does in the New Age spirituality, is ignore it. Just find something new to do and don't work on what your problems are. Just pretend you erase them, change your name, do all kinds of stupid things, go into yoga and get a yoga name and go around and chant and do all kinds of stuff, but never deal with your own garbage dump. There are those who have had lifetime after lifetime of not wanting to see, to know, or to have anything to do with their lessons. And there's real lots of people on this planet right now that are doing that. And a lot of them really think they're old souls, ancient. They think they're masters. They think they're gurus and they won't face their own stuff. They want to be gangsters. They want to be powerful. They want to be rich. They want to be all kinds of things, but they won't deal with anything. Then comes a time when life will no longer allow you to ignore the promptings of your soul. And this is when life can become difficult. It is not required that you grapple with lessons forever. You can move through them quickly until you start out picturing the manifestations of the beautiful diamond light that you are. Then attain your enlightenment. The lessons you are learning manifest because you have created them in the first place. It is not that God sends you lessons to annoy you. It is through the misuse of your free will that you have created your lessons and your reality. And that's why we bring in stuff from past lives and all kinds of other things. As you take responsibility and look at your lessons and say, what is it that I need to learn out of this mess I have created? And what are the blessings in it? What is the gift? Any negative or difficult situation you experience in life can be turned back into something wonderful if it is approached the right way. Even a disease or a financial loss can open the opportunity for greater blessings to manifest once you open your consciousness to receive them. How many people gain great wisdom from their illness or the relationship that has ended? For example, there are still a great number of people mistreating animals in your society because, in their consciousness, they are far removed from the truth of the oneness of life. Many still live in the illusion that animals are lower forms of life. Right. The abuse of animals allowed to take place in your society, inflicting on their soul experiences of ruthless slaughter, abandonment, caging, chaining, lab experimentations, etc., does not reflect the qualities of enlightenment. And When people mistreat or hurt animals, they deny that they are made of the same electrons from the prime creator. When people mistreat or hurt animals, they deny that they are made of the same electrons from the prime creator. Once you finally realize that everything that exists lives out of God's energy, the primal energy is all the same, you become fully aware that you can never hurt any part of life without hurting yourself equally and bearing the karma. Group, let me also add, Adam, it is not just the animal kingdom, but plants, mineral kingdoms, nature spirits, because people abuse nature spirits. A lot of people are witches, and they go places and they abuse all kinds of nature spirits. They abuse the mineral kingdom, they abuse the plant kingdom, and they think it's really good. Oh, I'm a witch, and they go off and they do all kinds of crazy ceremonies, not knowing what they're doing. The nature spirits and the elementals that suffer at the hands of the unenlightened people. That's where a lot of people who say they're witches and warlocks and that, a lot of them don't understand what they're doing. Adam, of course, I only use animals as an example. Do those polluting and raping the planet think they are not accountable for their actions and free of consequence? For the one raping, polluting your planet, polluting your waterways, polluting your air, your very breath of life are going to suffer and return the return of their creation. As you sow, shall you reap. And that's why it says, do unto others as you will have done to you. So if you're doing bad things towards people, you can't get away with it. It all will come back at some point. I don't care what your spiritual practice is. Nothing can protect you when you're doing harm in a way. And some people, they want to learn all kinds of stuff and hide behind it and do stupid things to everybody, and then they walk around like they're angels and all kinds of saintly beings. They're not. And like I say, you can see it in their energy, you can feel it. You can feel it in their electrons. You just don't feel good. It's just like, oh, do I want to be in this? Oh, of course, I only use the animals as one example. Do those polluting and raping the planets think they are not accountable for their actions and free of consequence? For the one raping, polluting your planet, polluting your waterways, polluting your air, the very breath of life they are going to suffer the return of their creation. As you sow, shall you reap. Some people on earth are still doing much harm to the planet and to their human brothers and sisters. In time, they will reap the consequence of their action. No one can ever escape the great law of divine justice. Group. Another misunderstanding floating around is that everyone is going to make it into the fifth dimension as the earth shifts into the ascension state. Adam. Everyone who has shifted their consciousness to unconditional love and has diligently fulfilled all other requirements for ascension will certainly make it along with the planet. But others will have to experience their creation and continue their evolution until they get it. The shift to love and unity conscious. Much assistance and mercy will be granted to those choosing the ascension at this time. But those not choosing to fervently are not going to make it in this cycle. Basically, most people on the planet are good and loving people if they are not yet awakened spiritually. Those who create again and again so many problems for others and for the planet will not qualify for ascension. Those who create again and again so many problems for others and for the planet will not qualify for the ascension. They are going to experience the return of their miscreation. For them, the ascension becomes a possibility in another cycle. Everyone will have an opportunity to make it to the fifth dimension who choose to, but not everyone is making that choice. And this is where people make themselves believe all kinds of things and it's like distorted. And then they try to make other people believe all kinds of distortions. I invite everyone to make this choice in their hearts. Do you want to come now and do? Or do you want to wait for another long cycle? And that's where you can't interfere with people's soul journeys. I can't tell people what to do. I can give them information. They can do right with it, or they can do things wrong, and it's their choice. And if they distort it and they do things, and like I say, it's all going to be recorded in the Akashic records and everything. Nothing is ever hidden, and people want to believe that, and that's where, like I say, you got to own up. And if you've done something to people, then ask God to undo it, to give back to them everything that belongs to them, and ask them to be blessed. Don't try to destroy or do things wrong. I invite everyone to make the choice in your heart. Do you want to come now, or do you want to wait for another long cycle? Because the corridors of ascension are open wide at this time, it does not mean they will remain open forever. The corridors of ascension were closed for a long time for the surface dwellers, and no one knows when they will close or open again. This decision is not within our jurisdiction. It could take another several thousand years before there is another such opportunity for ascension. We urge you not to remain on the picket fence in a state of indecision. Make your choice now and be committed to your choices. Let me clarify something. There are those on earth right now, because of their age, such as your senior citizens, who have made the choice to come into the ascension on the inner planes, but they do not qualify for this in this lifetime. There is too much for them yet to clear and understand. Some dear souls have old and sick bodies and did not have the opportunity to fully open their understandings. This is where you can't save nobody. You got to get that out of your head. Don't matter if it's your family or anyone. Some people have to carry on until they get it right, and you just got to bless them and allow them. I love a lot of people, but I will not fool myself into pretending to be a savior. And I'm very greedy with my energy. I don't like people thinking they can take it. They will receive their energy from God. They will receive the electrons, whatever is theirs. They get it every day when they wake up. They don't need to be taking another person's energy. So there are those on earth now, because of their age, such as senior citizens, who have made the choice to come into the ascension on the inner planes, but they do not qualify for this in this lifetime. There's not too much of them. There's too much for them to clear and understand. Some dear souls have old and sick bodies and did not have the opportunity to fully open their understandings. At a soul level, there are gentle people who have been harmless. Many of them will leave their bodies, but this does not mean they are not coming into the ascension. The divine grace for them is that they will be given another opportunity for incarnation in the new world we are moving into, and the process of ascension in the next life will be much easier and a joy for them and joyful for them. This is the divine grace accorded to them. As people on the planet move into the fourth and fifth dimension consciousness, they will continue to have children. Most civilizations in the higher dimensions can have children. Many of these souls will ascend physically in their next life experience. The right opportunity will be at hand for every soul. That's why you don't try to save even trees. You leave it to Mother Earth, Creator, and all these things. The electrons know what the hell they're doing. Everything knows. Now I would like to expand more on the use of resurrection flame to rejuvenate the physical body and the subject of immortality. It is important to understand the use of the resurrection flame and all the other flames. The resurrection energy is a key vibration for attaining immortality and the physical body. The darkness knows this. They know this really well. They don't want you to know it. They don't want you to practice it. Preachers don't want you to figure this out. Now I would like to expand more on the use of the resurrection flame to rejuvenate the physical body and the subject of immortality. It is important to understand the use of the resurrection flame and all the other flames. The resurrection energy is a key vibration for attaining immortality of the physical body. If you want to make the shift with your body without going through the process of physical death, the resurrection flame will greatly assist you. You see, when you take a real interest in your own evolution and allow the resurrection flame to pass through your body regularly, you begin to embody the great level of harmony, beauty, and vitality. Immortality starts by expressing more youthfulness and vitality within your life stream. The soul has attained a certain level of maturity, should be more beautiful and exquisite in the face and form as the years pass. So you should start reversing your age if you're doing everything right. The aging process you experience as you get older is naturally going to change in the years to come. It is already changing for many. As you get older and integrate more light into your consciousness, you will begin to express more beauty and perfection in your physical body. Does this make your heart sing? That's where all these beauty products and that, you just need the light. It will do everything. Creating distortions in your body, losing vitality, and looking older is not a divine attribute. We encourage you to start contemplating the flame of resurrection with the ability to reverse aging and make you glow. Can you imagine if every cell, atom, and electron in your body were to start glowing with the flame of resurrection? You would become luminous and radiate. Your body would take on the exquisite beauty and all attributes of your divine self. As you age, you will become increasingly more beautiful and divine in your physical form. This is what we have attained in Telos. This is my main message to you tonight. Since we are basically all the same genetically, what we have attained, you can all attain as well. Some of us in Telos have lived for thousands of years without any sign of aging. The resurrection flame is a major factor in maintaining your youthfulness. Are you ready for the meditation? And I will read it to you. And you can close your eyes. Allow your guides, healers, teachers, helpers, whatever it is, to come in and assist. Meditation, journey to the temple of resurrection in the fifth dimension. Adam and Lord Sananda and Lady Nada. We now invite all of you to take a journey in consciousness to the temple of resurrection near Jerusalem. So ask to be taken there. Give permission. One of the functions of the temple is to assist humanity with the energies of true resurrection, which takes place at many levels. In your immediate and future evolution, you are no longer looking to simply manifest superficial or temporary healing of various problems that burden you, whether they are the physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual nature. What you need to do is infuse the energy of resurrection in your body and consciousness, knowing that it will assist in your raising your vibration above the frequency of your present life circumstance. The flame of resurrection is available to you at any time, and it is free. All it takes is a bit of your time, your focus, your love to invoke it forth and work with it. Now connect in your heart to your I am presence. So close your eyes, your I am presence, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th chakra. Whatever it is, sit really quiet and call down your I am presence, your mighty I am, your oversoul, your God self. And allow that energy to come down through all of your chakras. See it as rainbow light. And you want to be taken to Jerusalem, to this temple. Now connect in your heart the I am presence as you take several deep breaths. As your light body to descend, ask your light body to descend over you and take you in consciousness to the resurrection temple. It knows how to get you there. If you desire to come along with us on this journey, I invite you to formulate your intent in your heart now. This temple is created of substance which resembles mother of pearl. It is circular in design. It glows as the sun from a distance, looking like vapors of pearl and golden sunlight all around it. In various places it reflects the luminosity of other flames. Ask your guide to take you there in your light body and become aware of this place in your consciousness. Now see yourself there, entering a large room called the Hall of Resurrection. It contains many chambers and doorways. A large number of beings from different dimensions use this hall. It vibrates at a very high frequency in different places to accommodate those on other dimensions. Now see a group of beings, guardians of the temple, approaching to welcome you and accompany you for your experience here. People of the third dimension are taken into the chamber designed for their level of vibration tolerance. This temple is well attained. Many souls from other galaxies and beyond who visit this planet come here to recharge. Breathe in its wondrous golden flame energy and let it infuse your particles, the particles of your being. This flame will assist you in expansion of your consciousness, your understanding of life, the evolution to a greater level than the one you presently hold. The flame will assist you in expansion of your consciousness, your understanding of life, and the evolution to the greater level than the one you presently hold. Breathe in and integrate the consciousness and the energies of resurrection. Breathe it into every cell, every atom and electron of all your bodies. Use a resurrection flame on a daily basis. It will continue to expand within you unto eternity. Beings of higher dimensions are still using it to expand their consciousness to higher levels. Stay with us for a while in the Hall of Resurrection and with those of the temple who have graciously volunteered to accompany you. Millions of resurrection flame angels nurture and minister to humans each day, especially those who ask to make conscious contact with them and with this flame. You have access not only to the flame, but also to all the wonderful angels willing to work with you on a one-on-one basis to nurture and to love you back to your spiritual freedom. As you stand in wonderment of this golden hall, you will see countless golden flames of resurrection in all shapes and sizes, burning bright perpetually to assist the earth in evolving humanity. Walk around the hall to gaze at all the wonders you see. As you walk, your guides direct you to the specific circle reserved for your earth surface dwellers. The circle is made of flames of various shapes and size that look like different variations of flowers. One of these resurrection seats is calling you to sit quietly and soak in the energies into your body. Now choose the seat that is calling you. It may feel like you are sitting in a lotus flower, but it is the resurrection flame taking the shape of an appearance of the flower. This golden flame enfolds you completely to raise your energies and bring healing and comfort to your soul. As you sit and contemplate the wonders of your experience, keep breathing in and absorbing all the energies you can. Feel it permeating every aspect of your being. Now take a few minutes to make a conscious request of what you would like to clear and what areas of your life you would like to resurrect the most. Focus on the unique gifts you are receiving today, being nurtured and loved by the guides and angels that accompany you. Breathe in more, because you want to take as much of the energy back to you into your physical body. Feel your body being imprinted with a resurrection energy and become aware of how it affects you. Awaken your sensory body to feel it more deeply. Feel the joy that it brings to your heart. Absorb all you can and feel how much lighter you are becoming in this seat. It feels as though the angels are carrying you on wings of light. Consciously set your intentions for this wonderful flame to literally lift you up and out of the predicament you are trying to heal and balance. Don't hesitate to invite the Master Jesus Sananda with his beloved Nada and their momentum of the resurrection flame to assist you. They are masters and guardians of this flame. If Sananda, as Jesus, could raise his own body from the dead and use the same energy to raise Lazarus from the dead, he can certainly assist you in great measure. What he did, you can do also, but you have to build your own momentum over a period of time. You can use this flame to literally resurrect your own body to the absolute divine state of perfection, beauty, radiance, luminosity, immortality, and limitlessness. When you feel complete, return to the full consciousness. Get up from your seat and return to meet with us again at the entrance of the Hall of Resurrection. We are taking you back to your physical body, but the connection to the flame will remain. You are most welcome to return and take a seat in the Resurrection Temple anytime you wish to receive all the benefits. Each time you may go, every day, or as often as you please. And it says, the elixir of immortality came from the resurrection flame. And that's where in Taoism and that they're looking for the elixir of immortality. There's a lot of cults and that all over the world trying to find plants and things, trying to create immortality. And being a Taoist, and that is part of that, is trying to figure out how to become immortal. We now send you love, peace, and harmony and healing from Telos and from the members of our community of light. Know that we are with you at all times. We are as close as you are, as you call. Anytime you want to connect with us, our hearts are open. We are brothers and sisters. We love you very much, and so be it. So all you got to do is think about them. Think about that temple, even when you're going to sleep at night, and asking, what part of your body is out of vibration? What needs to be healed? Because you got 7 organs that really need a lot of help. The elemental that tries to keep you alive lifetime after lifetime also needs healing. All your angels, your guardians, your spirits, your ancestors, they need healing. There's so many things. If you're having money problems, all kinds of other things, it says. If maybe you're meant to spontaneously heal a brand new arm if you had your arm cut off. Maybe you're meant to spontaneously heal your leg and grow a new leg. Maybe you had some body parts cut out and now you're going to regrow them all. So this resurrection flame, you got to understand this, and you have to use it in the right way. Ariola says, thank you so much, Adam, for the wonderful message and meditation, for the introducing us to the resurrection flame and its many attributes for our lives. Without the wonderful gift, and what a wonderful gift and what a blessing. We also express our heartfelt gratitude to Nada and Sananda for your presence and the contribution of your love and radiance here today. We love you so much, Adam, Sananda, Nada. Thank you so much for being the wonderful teachers you are. Adam, it has been a great delight and great pleasure. We have been looking forwards to this day we could introduce this teaching to the surface people. We love you all so very much. You know, whatever one does or neglects to do never goes unnoticed in our realm. So whatever you're doing, they see it. Whenever you call them, they see everything good and bad about you. You can't hide anything. You are creating by your work and your diligent, wonderful pearls of love. Be assured that someday you'll be reaping the harvest of these pearls. Whatever you create in love, you will reap in love. We are very grateful in Telos for this opportunity to be heard and read, and to have a voice on the surface at last. We have waited for this type of opportunity for centuries. We long to reconnect heart to heart with our family on the surface. The bridge between our civilization and your civilization has been created, but it is much stronger on your side. You have yet to strengthen your bridge with us. Heart connections must be made with a much larger number of people before we can emerge among you tangibly. When enough people are ready and willing to accept our teachings, we will make our presence known visibly and publicly. And this is going to happen. It's going to happen all over the earth. group, thank you so much. We are most grateful for your love and teachings. We can wait to hear we can't wait to hear more at another time. Thank you again, beloved friends. We have been we have been worth it has been worth every moment. Until we meet again, blessings to you, Adam, Sananda, Nada, and all other members of Telosian family. So